marketing, and then I gotta go do something. I'll be back.
Are we there?
It says it's starting.
We're live?
Yep.
Hey, welcome to the Weekly Social, folks. Everything Katy, Fulshear, Richmond, Texas, real estate, local business professionals, a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
Good morning, Denise.
Richard. Yeah. Richard Luebeck, Redline Realty, Denise Tomasini, Supreme Lending, and we don't want to forget lovely Priscilla, Select Title here in Katy, for allowing us to use her amazing office and space for the podcast. So gosh, Richard, we're super excited to hear about, Richard just went to the Tom Ferry event, and we want to hear in Dallas a lot of exciting information for growth and opportunity for all of us.
Just a quick shout out to Tom and his team. It was a 3-day event, and there was so much information that was conveyed. It started at 8 in the morning, ran till 5, 3 days in a row, and you still craved more. I mean, they didn't cover everything that they could cover, but they covered a lot. Lots of great insights, folks. The real estate market, the whole world's kind of topsy-turvy right now, but there was a lot of clarity that was conveyed there. Right now we're probably going to see a dip in the last quarter in the housing sales just due to the election. So everybody goes into a panic about that, but if you look historically at the numbers, we're going to pick that back up in the first quarter of next year, no matter who wins the election. So it's going to balance itself out. So the good news is that if you're buying, there's going to be less competition. You can buy at or below market value, and then you're going to miss that rush that's going to start in the first quarter of next year.
That's awesome, and that works right into the financial news that we're hearing.
Yes.
Because the Federal Reserve's going to talk next week in September 18th, 19th, the Feds are going to talk, and we believe they'll drop. It's all, nothing's for sure, right? It's all speculation at this point, but what the financial news is telling us is we'll drop a quarter, and depending on the reports that are coming out over the next 3 weeks are really going to tell us how the Feds are going to react to this, because we could drop as much as half a point, and that the quarter's already priced into the market is my understanding, but the half a point could really be a great benefit to our buyers and sellers.
And what that'll give them, because now it's going to drop a full percent versus where we were at.
Absolutely.
That gives you 10% more buying power instantaneously. And then historically after that, which was conveyed up there in Dallas, is once the Feds start dropping, they typically go 6 to 8 more cuts. So be on the lookout for that. But bear in mind, sellers and buyers, that when it starts dropping like that, everybody races in, then the prices go up, then you're going to get into multiple bids. It becomes a bidding war. So if you're thinking about making a move, my advice is do it now.
Do it now. Oh, and we're already seeing great interest rates. I mean, have already seen a pretty significant improvement in our market.
Without buying down
recently,
points.
Without buying down points, yes. Yeah. Depending on credit scores, how much you're putting down, loan amount. So it's a great time to buy. And most lenders, like Supreme, we're offering the Advantage Discount Program for any of our customers. Come back to us to refinance. We're going to get a substantial discount too down the road. So buy now, don't wait, because then you potentially do pay the higher, you're paying a higher price for the home. And that you can't recover as fast from as refinancing and getting and lowering the rate.
And then it becomes time in the market to pick it up through the equity.
Right.
Which it just takes time. It depends what your end goal is.
Yeah.
So we thought we would do something a little different this week, folks. Typically we have a guest that comes in. However, this is a holiday weekend.
Yeah.
So we didn't get any volunteers.
And we're here working.
We're here working.
So we're here for you.
So Denise, tell them what we're going to do today.
So today we're going to interview Richard, and we're going to kind of find out we still want to learn more about what you learned from Tom, anything you can share with us. We also want to know a lot about you, about what got you into the business and how long you've been in the business.
I first started practicing real estate in 2001. I was headhunted by a company out of Michigan
Okay.
to broker commercial real estate. So they flew me in. I did a week-long working interview, and then they made me an offer, and I decided to take it. And I spent 2 years between Detroit, Indianapolis, and Chicagoland area doing commercial real estate with Dynamic Realty, and that was back in 2001. So that's where I got my start at. Most people start in residential and then they aspire to go to commercial. I did it just the opposite. I started in commercial and I went to residential. So
And you can do both though. You can
I
help
can.
with commercial and residential. And your primary market is Katy, Richmond,
Katy,
Fulshear?
Fulshear, Richmond, West
Okay.
Houston.
Okay.
I would say the majority of my business is within a 5 to 10 mile radius of where we're sitting here. And that's very huge, by the way. A lot of people don't realize how big Katy truly is. That's over 1 million people. I mean, just the neighborhood Cinco Ranch is 25,000 homes.
Wow.
That's one neighborhood.
And if people aren't watching every week,
Yeah.
I know I have customers all the way, San Antonio that listen all the way, listening to your statistics and reports about our market, how many houses are for sale, and how many houses I've listed in the last week, and what our average price point is for different markets such as Fulshear, Richmond, Katy. And I think that's such valuable information. So if you guys aren't listening to that, please do, because you put a lot into that.
I
And
do.
it gives you it gives the consumer and even other agents a lot of valued information to know what's going on in their direct market.
Well, it's in real time, just so you're aware. And on top of that, you can't research and find that information. You can't Google it. You can try to have your finger on the pulse through the MLSs, the public sites. Now, if you're a realtor, yes, you can do exactly what I'm doing because you have access to that data. But as a consumer, you can't see any of this in real time. All you get to see is it's sold between 250,000 and 300,000. That doesn't. I mean, it gives you a snippet, but you can't really drill into what's truly happening in your local market.
This really gives you some valued information, which the average price point, how many houses are for sale, how many sold, how many homes sold.
It allows me to watch the trending. So if you notice, you'll see the square footage kind of changes. And the price per square foot, there's a fluctuation with that as well. So when you watch this and you truly pay attention, you'll see list price, then you'll see like 24, 50 square foot homes, and they'll kind of follow through from on the averages from active pending sold, and then it might trend to a 2,800 square foot home. And 300 square foot, that's a huge difference in the size of a home.
Yeah.
I mean, that's three. I mean, the average bedroom on a smaller home's a 10 by 10. That's 100 square foot. So that'd be three bedrooms, just to put it into perspective.
Wow, yeah.
So I want to be known as the knowledge broker. Data is the new oil. You know, this is the largest financial decision the average person makes. And you need to work with a true professional that really knows their stuff and can guide you through this. Because look at all the spinning plates that go on in a transaction.
Absolutely.
And it all starts with
It starts with you, really,
Yeah.
with the real estate, because that's the first thing consumers want to see. When we go out to an open house together, and I tell them, hey, I'm the on-site lender, right?
Yeah.
They want to talk to Richard, because they want to know, what's this house listed for? They're out having fun, looking at homes, and, that's where it all starts, really, and then, of course, the lending comes into play for qualifying and so forth. So you've been in the business since 2001,
Mm-hmm.
right? And started commercial for 2 years, and then residential, because I know I've worked with you for,
09 is when I started practicing in the local market here.
okay,
I'm not from here originally. I think you guys picked up on that by now, but I got here as quick as I could.
yeah.
And just to give you a little backdrop, when I was younger, I raced motorcycles and watercraft professionally, and I also helped my parents with dealerships and stuff. So I've basically raced or ran businesses my entire lives.
And you have a great knowledge too from my side of the business as well as the lending side,
Yes.
because of your past experience. And I think
Yes.
that's a big benefit to the consumer too, that you understand the lending side as well. just about as well as I do.
Well, in running dealerships, there's a lot of financing that's involved there, from credit apps to knowing what the lender's looking for, reading credit reports, understanding what's truly on there, whether it's a joint account. I mean, somebody could have a 700 credit score and it's all joint accounts. Yes, they have a great score, but it's going to be tough to get them qualified.
Right.
And the average consumer doesn't know or understand that, or even the average agent. They just know we have a 700 credit score versus read. And now, I don't read credit reports today, but I have that experience of truly understanding what's on there.
I definitely think that's a strength in your business and a huge benefit. Of course, depend on me, depend on your lender, but still, I think it's
crucial
great
to
that
have a
you
great lender.
Yeah.
As a realtor, real estate broker, this is one of my secrets to success. Honestly, there's an army of people that you don't see that actually help work through all these transactions with me. So
Well,
thank you.
Well, thank you. Yeah. It's a team effort, really is. It takes the village.
It does. And that's inspectors, roofers, electricians, title companies, insurance, agents on the other side. I mean, they say that the average transaction in real estate, 40 people's families are involved. So there's 40 people that touch the average real estate transaction when it's all said and done.
And what do you foresee that you're seeing in the market today that you're anticipating through the end of the year or even going into next year that you would, anything we could share with the consumer?
I think a lot of people are confused because there's a lot of banter out there in our local market. And what they're seeing on the cable, direct TV, that's national news. That's not our local market.
Right.
We are the place that everybody's coming to, not leaving from. The sky's not going to fall. And I can't guarantee a profit. However, I can tell you that the foreseeing of a collapse in the housing market, that you hear those murmurs, it's a bubble, blah, 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 blah. I don't see, we have a shortage of inventory. So
Absolutely. And our price of homes have stayed steady and stable. We still have people moving here every month.
In the metropolitan areas in Texas, we are the lowest cost of living out of all the major cities in our Houston is. So if you look at San Antonio, Dallas, and Austin, and I just got back from Dallas. I spent some time there, and I looked at their local markets. You get a lot more bang for your buck here in this market. You truly do. And then if you look at the schools that are afforded to you within Katy, because a lot of people say, hey, Richard, how's the market? Well, which market would you like to talk about?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
What market would you like to talk about today? So a lot of people say, I want to know about residential. Perfect. What do you think about buying, selling? Are you a landlord looking at leasing? Are you a tenant looking at renting? Because that's 4 different markets within that residential market for me to drill down to give you the correct information that you're looking for.
Right. Or are you looking for Federal Reserve and interest rates and closing costs?
Right.
So there's lots of different topics. That's a very open-ended question.
And if I'm divesting my portfolio, do you need to do a 1031 exchange? I mean, there's a lot of different paths that these transactions can go down, but it all starts with the realtor and the problem. I figured out a long time ago, problems create business.
Yeah.
So it all starts with the problem, and you need somebody with the know-how to guide you, the knowledge, the solutions, and integrity.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's crucial.
What do you love most about your job?
I get to help the average family with the largest financial decision that they typically make. People from all over the world come here just for the opportunity, not the guarantee, for home ownership. And I get to be a part of that. It's very special to me. What I truly do is, my real job is to solve problems and then make tomorrow better. That's what I wake up and try to achieve every single day.
It's exciting. The excitement in the customer is so much fun.
Sure. The family that we're self pending right now, I helped them get their home a few years back. It was in the COVID era, which they're one of your clients as well. They got the jitters, and they want to back out, and I told them, just buy the house, and I'll buy it from you the day of closing. And he's like, that's when I realized I was walking away from something that's very important. They did buy the house, and they have about $160,000 in equity on that.
Wow, that is
So
fantastic.
I got to be a part of that, and now we're selling the home because they're relocating. But if they were renting, they would be getting a check for $160,000 before they leave to go to their next adventure in life.
Great.
And I got to help.
And
I was
when you
part
get
of
that
that.
kind of equity in
In the stock market,
3
yeah.
to 5 years. Oh, yeah.
2.5 years.
2.5 years. Yeah. Where do you get that kind of return? That's so exciting
It
to
is.
see that, and that you can change their lives and moving forward. That's amazing.
Nobody likes to buy anything, but everybody likes to own stuff.
Right. Right.
And if you're renting, you're burning money. You're paying 100% interest. So when you keep saying, I'm going to wait for the rates to go down, you enjoy paying 100% interest. That's what I hear.
Oh, that's, and you're
I'm sorry.
building zero equity, and rent's only going up every year. So
Yeah.
the worst part too, on top of that, is you're not stabilizing your finances.
Yeah.
So you can control your cost, somewhat your cost of living with your housing. Because, you know, I'm a perfect example of my house.
You're not building any wealth whatsoever.
You're right. I've stopped paying rent, and my house payment was, I don't know, $740 a month. This is 32 years ago. And today, purchasing my home, your payment would be $2,800 a month. So now, but that payment stayed at $740 a month for 30 years. So you're controlling inflation within your own budget, within your own, and consumers forget about that. That allows you to max out your 401k, and that's where you start building your real wealth.
Right.
And
predicated upon your financial circumstances, you can
Right.
write off the property taxes, the interest on the mortgage. Now check with your CPA.
Right.
But I mean, to expand upon what you just said with your house, for what I pay for my mortgage payment, taxes, insurance, interest, I would have a house half my size with that payment today.
right, yeah, it's another perfect example. Absolutely.
So,
I mean, I paid $65,000 for my home 32 years ago. You know, today it would
you're
sell
telling your age,
about-
Denise, quit doing
But
that.
today it would sell for about $280. But there's a perfect example for the consumer that I don't mind sharing, because
Right.
it's all about helping others and really giving them a live example. Well, utilize me. Why not?
So that's almost a 400%. 4 times 6 is 24. So no, it's over a 400% return.
Yeah.
But where are you going to make 400%?
Not to mention your cost of living every month and every year that you're managing.
And you enjoy it.
Right.
It's not just paying for it, you get to enjoy it.
Right. Enjoy your neighbors and yeah, absolutely.
You also become part of the community.
And you're so good about that. All the things you do for the community, we need to really notice that and talk about it, because you're big about giving back.
That's a huge
And I
passion of
love
mine,
being
yes.
a part of that with you. The blood drives. You just did the backpacks. We need to hit on that that you implemented, really was the leader in that for us in creating the backpacks for
For the kids.
For the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all the supplies that go inside those backpacks too. We delivered, I don't know,
Huge carts
full of
full.
backpacks.
And they were ecstatic when we got there.
And those backpacks had all the supplies in there,
Yes.
the school supplies that you would need. We've got coming
Hold
up
on.
soon.
Not to interrupt you, but
Oh yeah,
I had somebody,
Good point.
one of my neighbors reached out to me. So I would greatly appreciate the help and support. I was honored that they reached out. One of their friends lost a child, and they're doing a blood drive in memory of them. So I know it's hard to get people blood drives. I know that personally because I do one every quarter annually, as you guys know. And I do ask you guys to always come out. But if you would, please come out and support this. There is a QR code. So if you guys could freeze that.
And it's in memory of Andrus Garrett, and it is Saturday,
AJ.
September, AJ, and Andrus is known as AJ. It's on Saturday, September 7th from 10 to 3, and it's MD Anderson Cancer Center. They do require a picture ID. The phone number is 713-792-7777. It's Saturday, September 7th from 10 to 3, and it's right there at Pine Mill Ranch Clubhouse. I'm going to put this on my Facebook page today because, we don't have enough blood.
We
That's
run out of
it.
blood every single day, folks, and it's not important to you until you need it. So please be proactive. If you can donate blood at any time, please donate because there is a shortage of it out there.
I was going to invite Aurelia in to come join us from Supreme Lending. This is Aurelia Alcala, and she's part of our team and part of Richard's team. And Aurelia, welcome. She's bilingual, and we're excited to have her this morning. And anything that from Mr. Richard that you want to talk about or think
I'm
about?
an open book.
Yeah.
Actually, somebody direct DMs on there, and our hardworking new agent Jake will be happy to share those questions with us too, guys.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
This
Absolutely.
is interactive.
Yeah, if there's any questions or anything for Richard, please ask, and Jake is here and can take those questions for him. But I know I've worked with you for, oh my gosh, since
Quite some time.
maybe 2008, 2009.
09 is when I first started practicing down here.
So yeah, right. We met right at that time, and I think had some customers together. And
Between you, Kevin Vaughn, and Aaron Kirschbaum, I kind of worked with all of you guys at that time frame.
yeah, and Kevin Vaughn was a gentleman that was on our team, and he unfortunately got ill, and I took over the accounts, and that was where Richard and I connected some time ago. And it's been a great relationship and
Lots of happy families over the years.
friendship
Yeah.
and business relationship. I want to thank you for that because I feel very blessed to be on your team and to be considered one of your lenders. And we really work and strive to compliment Richard because he works around the clock for his customers. I'll just give a testimonial for him, from 5:30 in the morning till, I'm talking to him sometimes at 8 o'clock at night.
Yes.
I don't know when he sleeps. And you're doing open houses on the weekends, and you really do it right. If anyone's listing their home, I've learned a lot from Richard. I won't give away his secrets, but a lot of things that he really puts a lot of work into it for his sellers to sell those homes.
Well, you see the traffic difference in
Huge.
person, in real time.
Huge.
It's an event. I create the event, the sizzle. I try to. My job is to get as many qualified buyers to that home as possible,
Absolutely.
and that's how we get those offers and stuff. And you've done open houses with me, oh gosh, for years.
Right.
And then if you look at the floor traffic that I have, I typically have 3 to 4 times the floor traffic what the average agent has on its side, if not more.
And I think Aurelia has picked up on that too, just in the time that she's worked with us as well, and she's commented on that. So kudos to you.
Oh, thanks.
And we're always learning from each other and growing, and we welcome that. And you're just a wealth of knowledge, and you're always willing to share.
Yes.
Even with your competitors, you're willing to share information and help, because you're all about let's everybody become a great success.
It's an abundance mindset. There's tons of business out there for all of us. There truly is.
Yes.
And what, Richard, what?
And y'all dressed alike. I forgot to
Yeah.
get the memo.
You got the memo.
And y'all can't see
Denise, you
her.
weren't paying attention.
That's right. And Aurelia wore her Supreme tennis shoes today. Yeah. She's ready.
Love it.
I love it. Yeah.
Branding.
So we had to bring her in.
It works.
We had to, because she's ready. Yeah.
You mentioned that your family owned dealerships or have always been them. What made you, instead of pursuing that? I know a lot of families or their children follow our footsteps. What made you jump into real estate?
You know, I love motorcycles. I love people. I love off-road and all that. But I just had a higher calling. You know, there's that passion in your belly. And that path to homeownership and helping people that that say that they can't do it, guiding them and helping them to do it, I mean, that really changes their lives. I mean, selling motorcycles, yes, we're selling fun, we're a big reward center or off-road, and people aren't having big weekends and all that. And I really enjoyed that, and I love all those clients. Don't take that wrong, but I found what truly makes me happy inside.
I think it is a gift, and you're really good at, you're good at both, but, because I got the pleasure of getting to know you while you were at the dealership, but I think when you went 100% real estate, it just took off.
I had a vibrant real estate business, even though I ran a
You're
dealership.
right. Yeah, nobody would even know.
Nobody would know. I made
Wow.
Yeah, he really did.
my income was higher, just in real estate, much higher than the average person was making a year in real estate on evenings and weekends. It can be done, but the average person can't do it. It takes a special person to really work during the day and do it in the evenings and weekends. I'm glad I don't do that anymore.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's exhausting.
Real estate.
It is, because in that industry, and a lot of what we sold, we weren't number one in our market or nationally, we were in the top three. So that was a high level of responsibility, obligation, and we didn't start there. We worked up to that. So,
But find what you love and become passionate about it.
Yeah.
If you really love what you're doing,
it's not work.
you just, oh my gosh, you become obsessed with it almost. I know I have, and then you don't mind, you want to work, you enjoy working.
It's a thirst that can't be quenched, is what I
Yes.
tell people.
Yeah, that's a good way to explain it. It's so true.
It is.
Yeah.
What other questions do you have?
What would be the biggest lesson you've learned in this career?
There's no microwave time, we're on crock pot time. Everybody wants instant gratification because we're here in America. This is all one step at a time, and every step's important. You can't skip one. And failure and success, those are two roads that run parallel to one another. If you're not experiencing failure, which I call lessons, it's not truly failure, it's a lesson, you're not going to experience success. And the more successful you want to be in this industry, the more you're going to sacrifice. Those are two things as well.
And the
The more
biggest
you're gonna
sacrifice is time, is what I see. Is
I'm
time.
sorry?
Is time.
Time.
Your biggest sacrifice is time.
It's-
You're going to gain so much knowledge and be able to help so many people. Because the more you do it, the more research and the better you are at your job, at anything that you're in. And of course, and sometimes when you sacrifice, that can, that can affect our families, but in a positive way, it also benefits them in a great way
It
too.
allows me to do and give my family things that most people can't experience in life.
Right.
And I'm blessed to say that. My advice there is that set your goals, share them with your family, and sit down and have that permission meeting with them. Hey, if we're going to take this trip that everybody wants to go on to Europe in 12 months, this is what I'm going to have to sacrifice and do in order to get there. And I need everybody on board to help me, because you guys are a part of this too, with the family. So there might be evenings and weekends you're not going to see me, and I need help taking out the trash. But the whole family needs to be on board and truly understand that
Right.
and be part of it.
It's part of the team.
It's like I spoke to a lady yesterday, and she was saying, her daughter and her son help her and her husband. Things like he'll say, "Okay, I'm going to go put gas in your car," or he'll do the grocery shopping, or you fill in other ways.
Well, those are time suckers.
Absolutely.
Because my highest and best use is to do X. But all that other stuff over there, it still has to get done. But it's amazing how much time gets burned on menial tasks.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's a good point. Thank you for your time today. I think this
Yeah.
was great, and I really thank you for coming.
Absolutely.
And you look great. I love all
Thank
this
you.
Supreme logo,
Branding.
branding going on.
Actually, before we take off, I want to bring this young
Yeah,
man in here that
yes,
just
come on,
started
Jay.
with us.
Yeah, come on, Jay.
I'm going to step off so he can come in.
And hey, you've been with us for a couple weeks now, right?
Yep, almost
He's
a month now.
amazing.
Almost a
I'm so
month?
excited, yeah.
Jake Fisher,
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you.
which this started out of a relationship
For his dad.
Yeah.
through his father.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he helped my dad find a home, and I was getting my license at the time, and he was just like, call me, let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's have some, have a conversation. And just kind
Jake's
of
going
glad
to
to
do
hear.
great. Very tech savvy. He's behind the scene managing everything. I know he's been helping me with reels and videos and
Mhm.
just a giver and helper. And
Folks, like you said, it's all crock pot time.
It
all
is.
this takes time. There's no overnight switch like that. You
I
can't
wish
rush
there
hard.
was, right?
Yeah,
I
of
wish there
course.
was,
I wish
but
there was. Yeah.
Quick question for you. You came into real estate expecting whatever, and now that you've been with us some time and been exposed to a lot of stuff, I mean, give them a little snippet of your journey in the last three weeks or 4
Yeah,
weeks.
so I've pretty much learned that there's a lot of moving parts, like constantly, and you're constantly learning. You can't just learn everything at once. There's always something to learn every single day. And that's kind of what I thought at first. Is like, oh, I'm just going to learn everything I need to know,
Yeah.
and then that's it. Then you're just good to go forever.
Me and Denise are still learning.
Yeah, there's just constantly things to learn. So,
Yeah.
and I wasn't really expecting that, and and I feel like I know what I'm doing, but at the same time, I feel like I don't know what I'm doing at all. You know what I mean? Like I mean the
The wobbly knees will loosen up here in about a year.
It
right?
takes-
Yeah,
yeah,
it takes time.
Takes time.
Yeah, it takes
Yeah.
time, but
And there's
yeah.
so much to learn, but
I
that's
know,
what
yeah.
makes it fun, is you're never doing the same thing.
Mhm. Yeah.
Everything is a puzzle, time changes, price of homes change, market changes.
Weekly.
For us too, weekly, absolutely.
or even
Yeah.
every day.
Yes.
Programs that are available to the customer change, have to stay on top of all that, but that's what I love about it. I think that's what you're gonna love.
Yeah,
But it is cute because I have to laugh because we sit in the conference room. Jake says, okay, now I want to know everything.
yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's going to, we will.
You get- yeah,
it's going
I-
to take time. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
I want to
good
learn
fun.
everything. Okay, that's not possible. There's things new every day. So and that's I mean, I want to get there as quickly as possible, but it takes time, and there's just new things all the time.
But you know what I love is your ambition, your drive, your care for others,
Mhm.
and he gives of himself. I can tell you he's been helping me because he's very tech savvy and just gives from his heart. And then you have Richard behind you that has 22 plus
23.
years, yeah, 23 plus years in the industry. That's right behind you to support and help me.
Right,
It's
yeah.
30, I don't know, I've been doing this since 87, so a lot of support there to
Right.
help.
I
and then-
can trust you
But
guys.
you-
That I feel like
So
I
you're
can
gonna
rely
do
on.
great.
Yes.
To lean on.
But then
That's what we want you to do.
Exactly. But you're going to do great because you have that support, but yet Wow, I'm impressed already with what you've learned and retained.
So far, so
and
good,
did-
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
He just jumps right in there. Did a couple of open houses with Richard.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
already out there doing them by himself and
They're
very
fun.
comfortable with
Yeah.
it.
I thought there would be
And-
kind of like just like I just gonna wait, but it's fun. You get to set it up the way you want, and you can market the home on social media how you would like it. If that's requested, and it's like an event. It's like a show every single
Yes.
time, and every single person that comes through that door, you know who they're going to be.
It's an opportunity.
It's an opportunity, right? And I like it because you just meet so many people, like every day. You meet so many people all the time. I can't really think of any other business necessarily where you meet so many people that you do in real estate. It's great. And that's what I like about it. Just constantly meeting people, talking to people.
Before we wrap up, what are your thoughts of Red Line Realty and everything that you're experiencing in the last month? I mean,
Everyone's very passionate, and everyone's very organized, and everyone's very punctual, and it's very different. And what I mean by that is to the little things, like the shirts. I've not
The name
yeah,
tag.
right. I mean, just the little things that make a huge difference and help you stand out so much more than everyone else. I think a lot of people, like you said, are like stealth agents.
Yeah.
You don't know they're an agent. I mean, they're wearing nice clothes, but how do I know what you do? Right? You can be doing anything.
Right.
I meet them at the open houses all the time.
Yeah.
You have an agent? I am the agent.
I
would have never known.
I walked into
You
an
didn't even
open-
tell me you were an agent.
Yeah, I walked into an open house not too long ago just to learn, and I walked into the house, and the door was the lock has this automatic lock on it,
Yeah.
I think I told you the story.
Yeah.
And
Love those.
I went to go unlock the door. I was like, okay. I mean, there's an open house sign. I'm assuming that it's an open house. I walk in there, and this lady. I walk in there. I say, hello. Is this open house available? And this lady walks around the corner. I was just like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know it's an open house. I thought I walked in some random person's house. But she's like, no, I'm an agent. I'm like, okay. I just, I don't know. You're just wearing normal clothes.
Right.
And just down to the little things, and that's what matters, and that's what you guys get right. It's just everything needs to be just perfect. Everything's within the detail.
Yep.
For a Realty, every single, everything. Just
Standards of
almost
procedure.
perfect. Yeah, standards of procedure.
And what a great way to learn. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
what a blessing, right?
Right, and it's local. That's makes it a lot easier. Don't have to deal with going all the way down to Houston to some brokerage that dealing with all that traffic. It just makes more sense that you guys are close.
And
right?
what a huge statement that a customer would refer their child.
I'm honored. He's trusting me with
Yeah.
his son.
With his son.
That's huge.
Yeah, my dad, he
Bought a
said
lot of
he,
houses.
well, he said he likes what you do, and he recommended me to just pursue what you do instead of everyone else. Because when I got my license, I was interviewing at Franklin team and
Well, let's-
but they're
Competition X.
Yes,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I liked what you do. I liked everyone else, of course, but you were
Stood
close, and it was just.
That stood
You
out.
stood out,
Well,
down to the
thank
little
you.
things,
Thank you.
right? So yeah, just great team, and I'm excited for next month and next month, I'm going to try and
next year.
document, and next year, yeah, I want to really get through my first year, find that, first
We got a
client.
lot of great stuff coming.
Right. Absolutely.
Well, let's wrap it up. Thank you,
Yeah,
Jay. Thank you, Denise.
Jay.
Thank you, Aurelia.
Yeah.
Right,
Absolutely.
Thanks, Richard,
Yep.
Jay, for having
All right.
us. We're blessed to be here with you.
We'll see y'all next
See you
week.
guys later.
Thank you. Have a great long weekend.
Happy Friday.
Don't forget about the
Oh,
blood
yes,
drive.
please,
The
blood drive.
Don't forget about the blood drive, please. September
Seventh.
7th. It's right there at Pine
Pine
Hill
Hill
Ranch
Ranch Clubhouse.
I'm going to put it on my Facebook page.
Me
and I'm
too.
sure it'll be on Richard's and Jake's
That's
as
already on
well.
there.
Yeah, and we'll make sure Rarely post it also. Thank you. Have a
See y'all
great
next week, you
weekend.
guys. You good?